Welcome to another Hollywood Times Live. Tonight, T. Felder interviews award-winning children's book author Ethlie and Vare about her new book, Woof.
Okay, so I'm T. Felder with the Hollywood Times, and we are interviewing Ethlie and Vare today, and we're talking about her new book. So I wanted to know how you got started, because I know you said you have written multiple books, and from the research that I did, you also were working as a writer with sci-fi.
Right, I
So,
wrote a lot of science fiction. I was a TV writer for a long time. I started out as a rock and roll journalist back in the 80s. I used to be the editor of Rock Magazine, and I was the concert reviewer for Billboard and the Hollywood Reporter and Daily Variety. That's how I got connected with the Hollywood Times in the first place. And so that was a ball. I was just spending every night out late, dancing, writing about it. It was wonderful. But then I had to grow up. And then I started writing books about rock stars. I wrote a book about Ozzy Osbourne. I wrote a book about Stevie Nicks. These were unauthorized biographies. They were a lot of fun, and they were popular at their time. And then I was asked to write other biographies. I wrote a biography of Harrison Ford and I think Martin Sheen. And then it came up. Actually, it came up one day during a Rock Magazine meeting. We were doing a piece about Michael Nesmith of the Monkees, and it turned out that his mother had invented liquid paper and became a millionaire, and that's where Michael Nesmith had enough money to, be a rock star
nice.
and start his production studio and all of this wonderful stuff that he did. And I thought, well, of course, a woman would have invented liquid paper. Who else was going to need liquid paper, right? And that set off the book, started the book Mothers of Invention, which was the first pop history of women inventors and discoverers. And that was really popular, and it spawned a sequel called Patently Female. And then in the middle there, so I'm going out and I'm doing lectures about history and I'm reviewing rock and roll. And then all of a sudden, a friend of mine says, you're a fun and, sort of writer with a varied palette. Have you ever thought about writing for television? And I thought about it, but I didn't know there was an opportunity to do it. And he gave me an opportunity to write a spec script and get it seen. And then I spent 15 years writing for TV, action, adventure, science fiction, mostly. The first show I wrote was Renegade, and then I wrote Silk Stockings, and then I got a job on Earth Final Conflict, and then I got a job on Andromeda, Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda, which was probably my favorite show that I got to work on. Although I did get to work on like CSI and Strong Medicine, and I wrote a bunch of creature features for the Sci-Fi Channel, and I had an absolute ball. And now I've written a book again, totally unexpectedly, and kind of from a little science fiction way of doing it, because I wrote this book using with artificial intelligence, not for the writing, but for the art.
Okay, so that was my next question. So why a children's book?
Well, because I'm a grandma now.
Oh,
I
congrats.
have 2 little grandchildren and 3 great grandnieces and nephews. Actually, 4 actually, great grandnieces and nephews. And I'm a dog lover from forever. I'm just a dog lover from way back. And I always rescue dogs. And my last dog that I rescued from the East Valley Animal Shelter was with me for 15 years. And when I lost him, which was last 4th of July, it just devastated me. It was just really hard to lose that dog. He was really a big part of my life. And so somebody said to me, just like, why don't you just write his story? Just tell his story. You're a writer. That's who you process stuff. Write his story. And I just kind of wrote it for me. And then I was playing around with my nephew, the one who had some of my grandnieces and nephews. He's a photographer and loves technology, and was showing me the, at the time, brand new AI art generators like DALL-E had just come out. And right now everybody's talking about Chat GPT and how exciting that is. Well, back last autumn, DALL-E, their art generator, same company, OpenAI, was doing this art creation, and I was fascinated, and I started just going crazy making pictures on DALL-E, and they looked, because I was very bad at instructing it, the pictures all came out looking like children's crayon drawings. And I looked at these pictures and I thought, oh my God, it looks like a children's book. And then I just thought, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a children's book about Laszlo, and I'm going to use artificial intelligence to illustrate it. And so I learned, and I got all these different AI art generators, because there's lots of them.
Yeah.
I talk a lot and I talk really fast. Just please feel free to go like that and tell me to stop my flow. But what I discovered in the middle is my dad was a painter. Those are behind me are some of his portraits. He was a well-known painter back in New York in his day. And he had a very specific style. He had a style that was very bold. It was just very bold, and he loved to use palette knives. And so what I learned how to do was I learned how to train the AI with his art. And so I would create paintings of my dog for my story about my dog, as if like my dad had painted him. So it's a story about a dead dog with paintings by a dead father.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So can you tell us the name of the book and, give us a little, I know you said it's about your dog, so can you give a little more information on it?
I absolutely can. It's called Woof, but the point of it is it's about a dog who thinks he's a wolf. So whenever you talk to the dog, and the dog has half the dialogue in the book, it's very short, so not that much dialogue. But whenever you interact with the dog, the first thing the dog says is, "Woof, I'm a wolf. I keep trying to tell you I'm a wolf. I should not be here with all these stupid dogs."
Right.
And so the dog is, and my dog really was, he would escape from anywhere. He just wanted to be wild and free. He just wanted to be wild and free. So the concept is that it's about a little girl that rescues a dog who's actually a wolf that's been mistaken for a dog, or possibly he's just a dog who thinks he's a wolf.
Oh, interesting. That should be fun. Have your grandchildren read it already?
Yes, my granddaughter loves it. It's a little sad. My grandson is only just turned 5, and the dog dies at the end, because it is a story about a dog that you have as a life. And so it's the little one, he found it a little sad, but I think kids take death very casually. Like when the actual dog did die, the little boy who was just 4 then, he said, "I'm sorry Laszlo died. He was a good dog."
Yeah, they don't process it the same yet. Yeah, they don't really understand.
Right. It's one of those things that happens. Oh, so your dog's in heaven with my Nona,
Aw.
And so they're pretty straightforward about it. So, but the 8-year-old who remembers the dog. In fact, the book made her want to go out and rescue a dog.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I'm hoping that makes a lot of people want to go out and rescue a dog, and all the money, my end of the money, I can't tell the publisher what to do, but my end of all the profits are going to the LA animal shelters.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, that's very good. It's very positive. So what's next for you? Are you planning on doing more of the children's books, or do you have any other projects that you're working on currently?
Well, I have a whole other side that definitely is not for children. I write a popular blog called Affection Deficit Disorder, which is about sex and love addiction. And I've written a book called Love Addict, which is about, sex and love addiction. So definitely don't let the grandkids at that one.
Right.
But if this children's, if Woof becomes popular, I may write another book about more of Laszlo's adventures, or maybe the adventures of another dog. And I love the idea of collaborating with artificial intelligence, which is changing and growing so quickly. I can see that in a year or two, you might actually be able to talk to behavioral scientists that work with dogs, and you can write it from the dog's point of view that actually really is sort of interpreting the dog's point of view. You know how they now have computers that can translate dog barks?
Right.
Well, what if we could actually get to the point where you could actually have the dog write it?
That's crazy. My
Right?
dogs would probably have so much to say about me.
Your dog person.
Yeah, I have 2 dogs. Yeah. So as far as the artificial intelligence, what made you go that way though? Because I mean, you you have the painter gene in you, and you could have went with either did it yourself, or maybe you went with a like known illustrator. What made you like say, hey, I'm gonna do this AI thing?
Right. I could have hired someone to do the art. Absolutely. It probably would have been faster and easier. But it's as if it's like the intelligence of the universe. I'm not wanting to be too metaphysical, but it's almost as if like God did the paintings. It's like AIs are educated on everything we know, every image, every word, everything we've ever put on the internet or on our phones, or it's all there, right? It's like the universal intelligence of the cosmos. And so I've said, okay, universal intelligence of the cosmos, what do you think a picture of a red wolf-like dog chasing after a squirrel is going to look like? And then the universal intelligence of the cosmos brings me an answer. And then I go, no, that's not it. Try again. And it brings me another answer. It brings me another answer. And it's as if every person who's ever drawn a picture is part of the art. And I just found that really exciting.
That's true. You're getting so many different perspectives, and then you're getting one thing. So that's amazing.
Yeah. And I'm the editorial committee. I get to tell the story based on which pieces of art I choose.
Yeah, when I seen it, I'm like, I was fascinated by the fact that like the computer put this together. This is my first time. I mean, I've seen some other like artwork and stuff, but this is my first time actually talking to someone who has actually put an entire book together based off of the technology. So that's interesting.
Well, now I have to credit Scott Mosher, who did the design. He did the layout.
Okay.
That I did not. I could have had a computer do that, but I don't have the computer skills to tell the computer how to do that. So I did have a human person. I gave him all the text. I gave him all the artwork I had chosen, and he did the layout. And he was wonderful, and I really appreciate his input.
Well, thank you, Scott, because it's a really great book. It's fun, and I think that a lot of kids would actually be drawn towards it. Animal, children, perfect combination, I feel like.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to know because I'm so close to it. So as a reader, you actually think people will enjoy it?
Yes, I do. It's a fun book. Like you said, it's not too long. It's just something fun, a little sadness at the end, but also a bit of joy. The pictures make it bring it into full effect, full life. So I think that children and families can definitely share it and enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, good. That's what I'd like. That's what I'd like, just because dogs are so special and rescue dogs are extra special.
And I like the cause. I like the fact that you're, helping out the shelters, because there's so many dogs that need homes, and the ones that don't, they still need to be cared for. They're at the shelter as well. So I think it's a very positive thing that you're doing.
Oh, thanks. Brendo! I went back to the East Valley Animal Shelter. I went back to the East Valley Animal Shelter like every couple of weeks for a long time. Brendo! What are you doing? And I found another dog. Oh, he's obviously not very obedient either. I don't have obedient dogs. Brando, where are you at? Okay, I'm gonna have to send out a search party. Yeah, because I rescued another dog, same place, East Valley Animal Shelter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, where can people find the book? Like, how can they get their hands on one of the books?
It is everywhere. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes and Noble. You can get it at the independent bookseller site. There he is, Brando. Come say hi. Come say hi. Come. There we go. This is Brando.
Oh, hi, Brando. Hey, you're a cutie. Hi, cutie.
Yes. Where were you? What were you up to? What mischief were you up to? Yes. So yes, what good boy. Woof is available pretty much anywhere books are sold. Most bookstores probably don't have it in unless you ask them for it, but it's super easy to order online. And tell your friends and send around a link and promote the hell out of it. Oh, I believe that you can click through to it on the homepage of the Hollywood Times.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, so you guys can go ahead and click on there and you should see, I believe the photo is up there of the front cover, and you can just click that and it takes you right to it. Do you have a website or anything, or people can reach you maybe for give you feedback?
And anybody can reach me at Ethlie.com, www.ethlie.com, or ethlieandvare.com. They both go to the same place. Have a website where you can order any of my books, because there's still a bunch of the women inventors books and some, the book on love addiction, and even some of the biographies are still available. And so there's a website, connects to my blog. Don't show your grandchildren my blog. I love getting feedback. It's full of contact links. I always love to hear from people.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to, I'm going to go on your site and check out some of your other stuff as well. If you guys want to check out the book, it's available on all platforms. It's called Woof. And this has been an interview with Ethlie, the writer, the artist. She's amazing. So thank you so much for your time.
Oh, T, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you.
Have a good one.
We thank you for watching and suggest you subscribe to this channel for the next Hollywood Times Live.